DOTE.
Welcome to a new tutorial on how you can transcribe non-English data, in this case Danish, with MacWhisper, and then conform it and transform it into a transcript in DOTE. So first of all, we will be opening some Danish data in MacWhisper, and here we will use the Lego demo project that we always use when we produce tutorials for DOTE. The most important thing that we want to do in the beginning is to select Danish as the default language when we transcribe using MacWhisper. And here I will locate a file in MacWhisper, and I will select the WOW file. I could also have selected an MP4 file, but for this we will just use a WOW file. So it will start transcribing. This should go away. And that's it. In 1 minute and 31 seconds, MacWhisper transcribed the small WOW file. So now we have a rough transcript that we can then import as a JSON file into DOTE. So I will not be assigning any participant IDs using MacWhisper, because I find it easier to do that directly in DOTE. But now we will just export our file. You can see that you can choose between many different things using MacWhisper, but here we will choose DOTE. So this will be exported as a JSON file that DOTE then can read and import into a project. So we will export that, and I will select a location for that. So I will just place it in the project, and I will replace that for now. Good. Okay, so now we are back in DOTE, and we will want to import our JSON file created by MacWhisper. So we can import a third-party AI-based transcript, and in this case we will use our Lego demo project data, and this is of course in Danish, and that's the whole test of we want to show in this tutorial. So we will go to File in order to import our JSON file. And here we need to locate that, and it's called G1P2 runner. This is the JSON file that we just created with MacWhisper, and we want to import that into our project. And you can see that the file was checked successfully. We are ready to import it. And for us as researchers in conversation analysis and interaction analysis, we might want to remove punctuation from the transcript. So remove full stops, commas, colons, and so on. And we can also remove the capitalization of the beginning of the line. So I will also check that off. You can of course play around with that on your own and figure out what kind of import you want. So now we will import the transcript, and here we have a rough transcript in Danish that we can start working on. As I didn't put any speaker IDs into the transcript at first, this is one of the first things that I would like to do using DOTE. So we can play the video. Oh, this is the wrong place. We need to go to the first sync code. Oh. Like that. So this is in our other transcript we call this R1. Så we will type that in, og når jeg siger go, så starter vi. As a like to follow the Jeffersonian standard, we will not add these signs here, but we will remove them, and then we will carry on and listen forward.
3, og så når jeg siger go, så starter vi. Er I klar?
And maybe that is not possible yet. There was like a tiny pause here, so we can also add that manually in DOTE. And this is also R1 talking. And you can see that I have chosen that the DOTE should automatically put in English subtiers, so I will remove that just to carry on with this Danish version. I could of course also create a translation. So he says, are you ready? And here, as we have worked quite a lot with this data, we can listen to the file, and we can hear that someone is also saying something very silently in the background. So that could be P1, and I can remember that is something like jeg totalt konkurrencemenneske. And we would also like to put in the soft voice, so we will do that. I can copy the transcript in between the signs like that. So now we have a version of that, and we can listen again.
3, 2, 1.
And this is of course R1. So by doing this, you can see that we can move through the transcript. There will be some adjustments. This is a Danish transcript, Danish data. So it is of course more difficult for the language model from OpenAI Whisper to work with that. But anyways, we can get a rough transcript of what is going on. So this is a way of getting started using MacWhisper and DOTE on data in your own native language. So we can see that we get a rough transcript. We need to tweak it a bit. We can insert all the different symbols from the Jeffersonian conventions, but this is a very fast way of getting a rough transcript sorted. So I could just continue doing that, and then you can also try it out yourself. Of course, you need to have a DOTE Pro version in order to import JSON files, and you also need to purchase the MacWhisper Pro version in order to download and use the large language model, including, for instance, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, and so on. So that is some of the benefits of buying a Pro version both of DOTE and MacWhisper.